Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown with Bethany. I'm Bethany Braun Silva, and I've got your daily dose of motivation right here in this very episode. Today, I'm talking to Julia Haart. Julia is known for her hit Netflix show, The Unorthodox Life. She's also an incredibly successful businesswoman, an author, and founder of the shapewear line, Plus Body. She's got a lot of incredible things in the works, and she really was such a motivating person to talk to. So check it out. I really admire you for so many reasons. And I know that on any given day, you could be managing a million things in your business or personal life. And I just wanted to, I guess, start by like doing like a check-in with, the state of the world. I know you also are going through some tricky business, some tricky personal stuff. And I don't want to get into that, but I just want to check in with you to see how you're doing, how you're managing it all, and sort of like where your headspace is at right now.
What a beautiful question and such a thoughtful, kind way to ask it. I love that. Um, wow. Okay, I don't think I've ever been asked this before, but it's actually I have a really intense answer, I guess. To your point, the world is in a state of crisis. The Jewish people are in a state of crisis. Anti-Semitism is on the rise. I have my own personal bad guy to deal with who has now, yeah, all of the accusations got dropped, all of this stuff is gone, and only my lawsuits remain. So we're very, very close to ending this thing. How do I stay safe in all the crazy? Um, I have, since last January, I realized that for my mental health and to stay strong and to be a warrior, I need to learn how to deal with intense amounts of pressure without falling apart. And I started meditating. And it has not just changed my life. I know it sounds so goofy. It's changed who I am. Like, it's so weird. Like, I look back at, I watch sometimes see people will send me things from like 2.5 years ago. I don't recognize her. I am now Julia 3.0. Who knows what Julia 4.0 will look like? I don't know. But right now, I have learned how to recognize my own power and accept that good things can happen to me.
I love to hear that. I think that's an ongoing struggle or journey that a lot of women take. And to be honest, I'm actually a little surprised to hear that because I always found you so powerful, like from your journey, like your decision to leave this, your family, all of that. But what I also really admire about you is it seems that all of your professional, not all, maybe not all, I don't want to make that assumption, but a lot of your professional decisions, even your personal decisions, of course, are sort of centered around family. So can you talk
100%.
yeah, talk
100.
talk to us about that.
Well, to me, my life is about freedom, right? And it's got layers. So the original push was freedom for myself and my children. I didn't want them to go through what I went through. I wanted them to have the opportunities that the world would provide to them. And everything I'm fighting for now, obviously, is not just for me, but it's for my family. I built $1 billion business. I worked 20-hour days. In 2.5 years through COVID, I did something of which I am inordinately proud, and I want my company back.
Right.
And I'm going to get my company back. But of course, to me, it's all about dynasty, right? I want to create a safe space for my children and my grandchildren. However, my family is not just my children.
Mhm.
I feel that women are my family. I know that sounds fucking doofy. I get it. But there is this intense need to fight for that freedom for other women, to let other women know that they can be financially independent, to let other women know that they can win, to show women how to take power. And in the end, that to me is still family. So yeah, I'm never going to stop.
That's a beautiful way to put it because I have a shared sort of mission and with mothers, right? Like motherhood, talking about motherhood, telling the untold stories of like struggles and all of that. And so I never like, sort of thought of it like this is also like an extended version of my family. So I really do love how you put that. And I think, we look to you also for a lot of like business sense and business advice. And you've started this amazing shapewear line. And it's sort of just like another feather in your cap, but I know it has to have come without struggles. Well, tell us about the inception of the shapewear line, sort of where you're at now and all of that.
So I'm super excited because actually we have a lot of new things happening. So, okay, let me start why I came up with it. So the idea originally was, everything I've done, and, as you said, like I've done a bunch of very different things, but they all have that core central focus, whether it was creating shoes that were both beautiful and comfortable, or coming into a lingerie brand and creating the first ever stretch lace underwear. I realized that fashion was for women, but it wasn't for women. Nobody cared what they felt like, whether they were comfortable, whether it was painful. I was literally told when I first came into the industry, Julia, don't use the word comfort. It's a dirty word in fashion. And I said, well, I fucking love dirty words. So there. So yeah, so that was, and then EWG, where I literally transformed it from a modeling agency into a media conglomerate, shifted the power dynamic, made so many women so much money. We'll continue to do that shortly. And again, that's about financial independence and freedom. The shapewear brand is kind of the same thing. I watched this movie, Bridget Jones's Diary.
Yeah,
Do you remember that scene? She's sitting on her bed and she has to figure out whether she wears the ugly shapewear
right.
under the dress so she can get the guy, feel confident and pretty, and then she'll bring the guy home, but then she can't get undressed because no one wants to be caught dead in shapewear. So in the end, she decides, okay, I'm going to wear it. She puts it on. She gets the guy. She comes home. She gets drunk and forgets she's wearing the shapewear. Do you remember that scene? And they're
Yes.
on her floor, and he's like, look at this sexy little dress and these naughty little shoes. And then you see, I was like, oh my God, what? And he starts playing with it. It's just like, and I sat there, I was like, wait a minute. What do women actually do
Yeah.
when someone's undressing them? Then I realized women feel immense, tremendous shame about wearing shapewear. They hide it from their friends. They hide it from, and I started asking people, like, what do you do? And then machinations. Oh, in the middle of foreplay, I'll go into the bathroom. I'll take off the shapewear. I'll hide it in the, like all this crazy stuff. Like, this is insane. So, of course, I realized I got to fix that. I don't want women to ever feel ashamed, ever feel uncomfortable. So we launched Plus Body. We changed the way we color material. You can stretch it from here to eternity. It doesn't budge. It's the first ever non-shaper looking shaper, right? In addition to that, we built in bra sizes. So it's not just sold by your dress size, it's sold by your cup size, which is huge because most shapewear either gives you pancake boob, right? Or they just leave a hole here and you have to wear another bra and straps and da 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 da. So that was the original idea. We launched it. It went fantastically well. We're close to being sold out. And what I love most about fashion is that it's interactive. It's not just the art of the designer, it's the unique individuality of the person who's wearing it. It's this beautiful relationship because it's the two of us together, right? So I listen to women because in the end, all I want to do is make women's lives better. So when it came out, the comments I received were number one, it's too expensive. So many people wanted to buy it and they couldn't afford it. And number two, they said, I made it so well compressed that it's something they would wear like at a wedding or a party, but they also want something more light compression. Number three was, Julia, you're the inventor. Invent clothing that has shapewear built in so we don't have to wear shapewear at all. And I got those comments from thousands of people. And so I went back to the drawing board. Our next collection will be in stores. And by the way, we're going to announce soon, it's going to be in a lot of stores. It's going to be more than the United States. We're very, very excited. We have an incredible array of retail stores that will be taking our product. The product, which was originally $78 to $198, is now $32 to $78.
Wow.
I mean, we worked our asses off, to be honest, to streamline because the way that we were coloring things is very expensive. We had to figure out, we literally went back to the drawing board, figured out ways to streamline it so it can cost us less money so that we can charge much less. And that's what we did. So I'm super excited. The most expensive piece is $78. So just
Yeah.
that gives me freaking joy. Now more women can afford it, more women can feel good about themselves, and that just gives me so much joy. Part two, I created now 4 lines from high, intense, suck you in to very light.
Okay.
Anything you want, it's there. Part three, that one's the only one that I was like, why didn't I think of it? I was like, yeah, I should have thought of clothing that has shapewear built in. That's such a me thing to think of. How come I didn't think of it? However, of course, when someone challenged me to figure out how to do it, of course we did. And we are releasing this shapewear clothing. So it's bodysuits, tank tops. And the beauty of it is it's lightly shaping. The bra is built inside, no straps. The body of the outfit of the tank top or the bodysuit holds everything in place. So you don't have to wear a bra. You know, and I know every woman on earth, she gets home, the first thing she does is snap off that bra. It's so annoying, that thing here, and I hate it with a passion. Hate it. You don't have to wear one anymore. We go all the way from A to F. Our size range is up to XXXL. I want every woman on earth to feel beautiful, confident, comfortable, not have to wear a strap, and wear underpinnings that suck her in just enough to make her feel comfortable, holds everything in place. I'm 53 years old. My boobs travel. They do not stay put. They float, you know? In my shapewear, they don't budge. And there's no bra. The bra is built in. And we have 2 versions, one where the cups are outside, a little sexier, or one where it's completely hidden and you wouldn't even know that the bra was built inside. I was recently on a television show. It's going to air, I think, at the end of June. And the woman interviewing me, a delightful, fabulous person, took off her clothes and changed into the bodysuit to interview me and didn't want to take it off. It's the most, you can't fathom the comfort. It's so crazy comfortable. Anyway, so I'm really excited. Yeah.
It sounds
And then I've
fantastic.
invented the world's most powerful vibrator. So that's going to come out soon. And then I have another project that I'm about to launch. So, you know, I've got a few things in the works.
Yeah, you're like the busiest woman on the planet,
I
but
love working. I
I love it.
fucking
I
love
think
working.
that's so great that you own that, because I love working and I'm a mom, and it's it's sometimes we are shamed for that, which is absolutely insane and should never happen. And I think like the most interesting thing about your story, and I don't really consider myself self-made, but I got into journalism with no experience, no contacts, no kind of formal education in it, right? And I sort of had to climb my way up.
Love that. Good for you.
Like, I think
Good
that's
for
what a
you.
lot of thank you. I think that's what a lot of women admire about you, is that you came from this background that it doesn't make sense how you achieved all this success. So I really would love, and I know you love women, and so what do you want to tell a woman who's kind of marinating on an idea, right? Like, but needs that push. Like, what do you want to say to her?
When my kids were younger, they wanted to go to a zoo, and I have difficulties in zoos because animals in cages, anything caged for someone else's viewing pleasure, it's just so wrong. Anyway, so I could just, it was awful. I hated zoos. And then I found out that there is this zoo in San Diego that kind of recreates the habitat. So they're not in cages. So you get them. So I'm like, that's a zoo I'm okay with. They recreate the habitat. They help endangered species. I was like, okay, I can handle that. So my kids and I would go to San Diego. You're in this little truck, like a Range Rover truck with no windows, right? And you're going from habitat to habitat. We get to this habitat, which is this African elk, which is the animal that can jump higher than any other animal in the animal kingdom. And the tour guide challenges us and asks us, where's the fence that keeps them in? We look around, there's no gate, there's no fence, there's no wires. We actually don't understand. And he says, and don't forget, these animals can jump higher than any animal in the animal kingdom. What's keeping them in this enclosure? Can't find it. Finally, he points out to the edges, the corners of the enclosure, have four really tall telephone poles, long telephone poles, just poles. And connecting these four poles is like a half C pipe. So imagine a circle, think about it, like a circle cut in half. So it's a C, yeah?
Yeah.
So there's this giant C at the very top of these four poles. So this animal, before it jumps, the way that it gauges the distance of its jump is it comes to the edge of something, looks up, calculates the distance, and jumps. When this animal comes to the edge of an enclosure, it looks up and it sees what it thinks is a ceiling because that big C pipe is hanging over there. And they never try to jump. Think about that. There is no ceiling. There is no gate. They could walk through. And they never try because they see a ceiling and they think they can't. That is my message to women. There is no ceiling. It's in your head because you have been indoctrinated in it. They have fooled you and made you feel powerless. They have made you feel weak. It's here. You can walk through. The ceiling only exists if you fucking let it. That's my message.
So you are obviously a woman to admire, but I'm also curious about some women you admire. Like who do you when if there's a moment when Julia Hart's feeling like, oh crap, I can't jump, who do you look to for that inspiration?
Oh, so many people. Thank God there's so many people to look to. Um, I think the suffragettes are my number one go-to whenever I need help. Um, they actually played a big part in my sanity, I would say. Well, now I want to say that. I would say in my ability to fight Silvio until now, when everything is finally coming out and the world really sees the truth. Did you ever hear of the Broadway show Sucks?
No.
Okay, you have to see it. If you come to New York, I literally want every
I,
woman
I'm
on
I'm New
planet
York
Earth.
born and raised. I'm
Oh,
raised in
amazing.
Hell's Kitchen. I actually saw you posted this on social media. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
it's a game changing, it is. The day that I found out I lost in Delaware, which is such a travesty, and we're about to prove that, what a travesty of the civil system it was. However, it was the darkest point of my entire life because I had left everything behind. I had worked my ass off. I had built $1 billion business. He had no proof, no evidence, just his words. I had all of this documentation and nobody cared. And that feeling of complete powerlessness. And like, look at what I've accomplished. And people are gifting him my accomplishments. It was, I can't even explain to you the pain. And I'm sitting in this room, literally on that corner right there by my TV.
Yeah.
And I'm bawling my fucking eyes out. I was like, what's the point of everything? Like everything I fought for, everything I accomplished. Some guy comes and says, clothing. And are you kidding me? I never took a salary. I took a $70 million company and built into $1 billion business through COVID without any outside investment. And I'm the bad guy. The man never showed up. I mean, it was so insane. Anyway, I'm sitting on the floor feeling very sorry for myself. Big pity party. Let's be honest. I was having a serious pity party. And my friend calls me and she says, and I don't know why I picked up, because nobody knew yet. It didn't get announced till the following day. I don't know why I picked up, but I did. And she's like, Julia, I have COVID. I have these 2 tickets to the show Sucks. Do you want to see it? And I burst out laughing because my whole life just ended and she wants me to go to a Broadway show. And then I thought to myself, Julia Hart, you fucking pick yourself off that floor. Stop with this nonsense pity party. You sit there, he wins. You get up, you get dressed, and you go to this show. And I did. Cried the whole way through. Walked out of there. Shoulders high, head held, so sure that I was going to win, so convinced that no one was going to stop me because I looked at these women. I got called con artist, thief. I mean, can you imagine? It's really hard to explain to someone. Imagine if you purchased a car with your own money and you have the documents and you send it to everybody and you see articles coming out that you stole the car you bought. I mean, you can't imagine. You feel like you're in upside down la la land. And then I look at them. They weren't just called thieves and con artists and liars. They were imprisoned. They were called insane. They were force fed, and it didn't stop them. So anytime I'm feeling down or sorry for myself, I remind myself how much women have gone through to get to where we are today, how much the suffragettes suffered in order for us to live a free life. And I remind myself that if I don't win, the women who come after me will be less likely to fight men like Silvio because they'll see fear. If I win, I can be that next part of subs to someone else. And this is how it goes for history. Women after women after women supporting and inspiring one another.
That was so beautiful. I'm gonna go see this show. I think I'm gonna buy
You
a
have
ticket
to. You
immediately.
absolutely, I mean, I'm not kidding.
I will
It's a
see it.
game changer. It's
I'm,
a real game changer. It's
I,
so incredibly powerful. If
I'm
you
gonna
don't
see
walk
it.
out of there on fucking fire, I'll be shocked.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. This is actually a beautiful way to kind of wrap up this conversation. Like, how we possibly top that? But I do want to give it's Plus Body, right? I want to give Plus Body one more plug. Tell us where we could,
Okay.
shop
So
for
it's bodybyjuliahaart.com. The new collection will be on the website in August and in stores in September. And we will be announcing which stores very shortly.